Hi everyone, welcome to Fearless Grace. This is on Tuesday, and we're in the beginning of our Friendship Week. But I wanted to start off, I have to tell you something funny. So today, sorry I'm like 2 minutes late, I decided went to church this morning and I made the mistake of not getting ready for my show beforehand. So I was like running when I got home, and I was like trying to go through all my makeup really quick. And I like use this little thing to put on like foundation and powder, and I'm like this, and like, feels disgusting. And I look at it, and yesterday it fell on the floor, and I just picked it up, and put it back in my makeup bag, and I didn't even think about it. And so it like kind of fell, and when it fell on the floor, it fell like underneath the like foot kick thing or whatever. So I didn't really look. I just picked it up and threw it in my bag, and apparently it fell into like a hidden little mass of dog hair. So I'm like putting it on my face, and there's like dog hair all over it. It was so gross. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. And that would have happened whether I was running behind to try to get my makeup on quickly or not. And it's funny when you're in a house of dogs, do you ever feel like you're like living in this like little invisible carpet of dog hair? No matter how often you sweep and no matter how often you clean, when something falls on the floor, it comes up with dog hair. And I don't really understand how that works, because if I look at my floor right now, it looks clean and it doesn't look like it's a dog hair bed. But I guarantee you, whatever I drop on the floor right now, it comes back with dog hair. Anyways, so to recap yesterday, we just kind of started talking about like the importance of friends when you get to be fearless gray, and kind of the changing like aspects of friendship as you get to be fearless gray age. Every other point in your life, you kind of have natural areas where you meet friends. Other people are also in the position of having to meet friends, and kind of when you get to fearless gray age, it's a little bit more like people are like leaving and moving, and your family's moving out, and so it's kind of real shifting sands about how we make friends or meet friends. Anyways, yesterday one of my friends, Pam from my high school, commented that the Seasons of Friendship is a really good poem and everyone should read it. And so I went, and of course, and I looked at it, and it completely tied into today's show that I was going to give. So first of all, thank you for Pam for sharing it. Second of all, when I'm done with the show, I'll add a picture of it below, and you can take a look at it. But basically the premises of the poem is that there's three different types of friends that come into your life. There's friends that are there for a reason, there's friends that are there for a season, and there's friends that are there for a lifetime. So I kind of just wanted to talk about each of these areas and talk about it from two aspects. One, like when you need friends, how these people come to you. But maybe even more importantly, like how you be that kind of friend for someone. I think it's, friendship is definitely one of those things, like when you're a friend to someone else, friendship comes back to you even more. So I don't just want to look at it as far as like how people can be a friend to you. I really want to also think, as we get to be fearless gray age, like how can we be friends to other people? Okay, so friendship for a reason. Friendship for a reason is really can come into your life for, I think, two different ways. Either like you're having difficulty and you need help, or it can kind of come in for like fun and joy. And like two examples I can think of in my own life. So one was fun and joy. I went on a spring break vacation with my kids, and it was in their parents. And so on this trip, there was a lot of couples, almost all couples. I think I was the only single parent there. And you might not realize it, because like women hang out, men hang out, but there's still a little bit of awkwardness sometimes when you're the only single on a couples trip, even if there's kids all around. And there was this one lady on this trip, so we're from the same high school, our kids go to the same high school, some are in the same activities, but we really hadn't been friends that much before. Like on this trip, we hit it off, we had so much fun, we were dancing on the boat together, and we just sat together, we laughed, we just really hit it off. And then we came home from the trip, and we just kind of went back into our lives in our hometown. And like we didn't keep, seeing each other and having all these fun activities, but I really feel like she was there to like help me have joy in that season and feel comfortable. On the other hand, another time that I've had that in my life is the season of like last year when I was like, all my possessions were in sheds and pods, and I was going back and forth to the storage shed, and I was living with my brother, and it was just a really tough time. And every time I'd go to the storage shed and I see the ladies that were there, two ladies that worked there, and they were just always so kind and happy and asking how you were doing. And like some days I would just break down to them because you like roll up the shed and there's just like, oh my goodness, piles of crap and important things and life memories in 4 different sheds. And some days it was really overwhelming, and I'd go in there and they, they'd either like it was funny. They really knew when I needed to be like happy, it'll be okay, and other times they were like a shoulder to cry on. And so they were like really there for a season. So in another example of kind of like how you can be there for seasons for someone, it was just like short and quick. And I don't know if it totally fits the bill of friendship, but you can change someone's day by just being there for that little reason. And I was in the grocery store, and this older man says to me, like, "Oh, it looks like you're in the sun a lot." Like, my standard line is, "Oh yeah, I got green skin from my dad because I've been a training skin at Tansy." And for all of you, just so you know, I don't spend days baking in the sun. I'm just lucky to have my dad's skin. And then he started talking a little bit. We went on, and then he's like, "Yeah, I like that they have young people working at the registers." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really nice." And he said, "Oh, I come up here and I visit my wife every day." And for some reason, I just thought to say, "Well, how is your wife?" And he like looked at me, like no one ever asked him that. It seemed like, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, thank you for asking." And, and she's not, and he was really like, he never lost his like joyful spirit. But he's like, "She's not doing that well, and it's really hard." And I just said, "I'm a little sorry to hear that." And then he goes, "I got this line," and I was like, "Oh crap, she has all kinds of stuff." And he goes, "No, I'm really glad you did." And so I think there's these moments in our life, like when you have to be aware when somebody else needs to see you or talk to you or hear you. And I think as we get to be fearless gray age, there's, you see like these older couples who maybe their spouse died and you can tell they're lonely. And I think maybe we have a responsibility because we have a little more time to just have a random conversation, to take time and say hi to these people and maybe be their friend for that reason, for that moment. Okay, friends for a season. So friends for a season can be like a couple months, it can be years, it can be a year. Friends for a season, like I can think of two really easy aspects of my life. Like one is like I had a neighbor. We lived next door to each other, I think for like 8 years, and it was like my closest friend maybe I'd ever had, because we lived right across the street. We walked, we worked together, we volunteered together. I mean, we walked, we didn't work. We volunteered together, we walked together. Like we drove our kids to school. Like we had every moment together. And so that season of my life, like I don't know that I would have made it through without her, because she brought me joy, and she brought, like when I ran out of gas anywhere, I'd call her up and she would come, and I would do the same for her. So it was like that friendship for that season of my life. My little board over here. Another I think season that we might have for friends are like when we have a job and we really like the people that we're working with there. Those are friends for that season. And then you think, oh, we're gonna be friends forever, and you move to a new job, and you're not. It's just not the same when you don't see each other every day. I have a lot of friends from the seasons of my kids' sporting life, because my kids are really into sports. So if you think about even 4 kids in sports and probably 12 different sports, so I have these 12 different groups of people that I really care about, and I really care about their kids, and we spend so much time together. And then the sports end, and so many of those friendships were just for that season of life. And I think that they're really important too. I think friends for a season bring you joy, and they bring you support. And I think, as we head into the Fearless Grace season, I think we need to be aware of friends who need us for a season. If it's like they're lonely, and maybe they're going through illness, they have a death in their family. And what I find for myself is that it's easiest to be in someone's season of life that I've lived. And you get to be fearless gray age, and you lived a lot of different experiences. So I think we need to be open to see when someone else needs our compassion and empathy in like the season that they're in. Finally, it's friendships for life. And I was thinking about this, and I think it's kind of difficult. Sometimes when you're in a season, you don't know if it's a lifetime friend, or you think it is for sure. Or on the other hand, you might be in a season and think, yeah, this is like, you kind of know this friendship is for right now. And somehow it turns into a lifetime friendship. And I think lifetime friendships are those friendships that either they really change you, they change who you are, and you take the values of that friendship on with you forever. Or they're the people that they just keep popping up in your life, and they're always there when you need either fun or support. And a couple examples that I think of that are interesting lifetime ones for me are, so this is, we talk about Facebook and social media, how it can be really bad. But to me, this is how it's really good. So from my high school, we have a really good Facebook group going, and we have over half of the kids are in our Facebook group. Now, granted, we can't pull off a reunion because nobody wants to go, but we're really supportive of each other. And So like last year, when I was going through, the divorce and that, like people that we weren't even that great of friends with in high school, like reached out to me and sent me things. And, I think it's just really interesting. I feel like we have a real closeness to the women and the men in our class, even though we don't ever see each other. We kind of know what each other's up to. And I really feel like we could turn to each other. Like, for example, if I said, oh, can you guys pray for my whatever, like there'd be so many of them that would really do it. And so for so many years, our class, we just all went in different ways, and there was no social media and like very small pockets of friends. But now that I have the opportunity to connect in social media, it's really made our high school friends like lifetime friends, which is a really great thing, because I think part of lifetime friends are you have that shared experience of life-changing moments. And there's so many life-changing moments when you're in middle school and high school together. Maybe that's why like high school friends, when given the opportunity, become lifetime friends. And then I think there's those lifetime friends, like my neighbor that I was telling you about that was there for a season. It's weird. We like literally never talk to each other. She's been gone like 3 or 4 years, and we text or call rarely. On the other hand, I know that if I did call and say I needed her, she would be there for me. And I also know when we visit, like, I think sometimes people are like, oh, you go away, it's always the same when you go back. And I think it's a lifetime friend when you go back and you still have the same values. Because you can move away and people can dramatically change, and then you get back together and it's not really a lifetime friend, then it's kind of a friend for a season. But if you get together and you still have shared values and the shared empathies and the shared vision for your family's lives, then it's kind of a lifetime friend. So anyways, we're going to continue this week more on friendship for Fearless Gray Years. And I'm hoping on Thursday that we're going to kind of have like a little friendship forum. And if you're liking this, please make sure you share it. And also please follow Bubbler Media. We have a lot of great programming, and I do my Fearless Gray shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9:30 Central Standard Time. If I can get my makeup on fast enough. I'm just kidding. And on Fridays, I'm going to try to do like a 360 show, or just like 360 of different events. But we also have shows about art. We have comedy shows. We have interview shows, and we are really just in the very beginning stages of building who we are and what we are and how our creative force is going to be. So tune in, follow Bubbler Media, and watch us launch and grow. Anyway, so I'd like to end with the Flamingo Lingo of the day, which ties into like friends for a reason, a season, a lifetime. So here's your Flamingo Lingo for today. Flock for today, flock for this year, flock forever. And anyways, I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Flock on. Thanks, Pam, for the poem. It was perfect.